interested in what kind of unbelievable creatures.
Yeah.
We might have to do a segment just on that.
There was the road that Ghost Adventures talked about.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
an
still
old
reading.
road. Oh, my bad. MB.
Near the cemetery is a quarry pond. Quarry pond that is also said to be haunted. The foul, dark algae-covered pool is said to have been used by Al Capone and other gangsters as a dumping place of their murder victims. Other reports tell of the ghosts of a farmer and his horse who were drowned in the pond, as well as another unknown two-headed ghost.
Whoa.
I've never heard about that.
Neither have I.
I think Bachelor Grove Cemetery is where that infamous lady sitting on the tombstone picture was
That's
taken.
what got me first into Bachelor's Grove.
Oh, really? Was that picture?
Like, I would study that picture for at least an hour every night. When I was getting into paranormal.
What else about... Does anyone know anything else about Bachelor Grove at all?
There was an old road that went right by it back in the 30s.
Oh, no, Aaron dropped his notes.
Yep.
And part of the road is actually still there. And a lot of people have actually reported seeing, like, phantom cars drive by. They talked about it on Ghost Adventures. I have no idea where you're at in this thing.
Yeah. Just keep looking for it. So what I'm doing right now, and why I'm having him talk about this, is because on Southern Utah Ghost Hunters, right this very second, I'm going to post a picture, or post that picture on Southern Utah Ghost Hunters so that you can see which photo I'm talking about.
Turn the page, wash your hands.
Kind of have,
Monday, orange.
That was what shirts colors you had to wear when I was a manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot and tried to remember.
Oh, you booger.
I found it. There we go. Okay, we're good. It's all good. Okay, I'll just do this.
Yeah, just keep talking about it. I'm going to try and figure out a way to...
There.
I'm going to post this on Southern Utah Ghost Hunters.
Somebody in my creative stuff.
Oh, okay, because she's like this. She's like...
Continue talking about what you've...
know about Bachelor's Grove.
Know about it.
People, like cops, have reported when they would go through because, vandals and all that, they would report seeing this weird ball of light.
Yeah.
And it would actually move, and then as I got closer, what was that?
It was me.
No, I said what?
It wouldn't work.
Oh, so you're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to do it on my phone. Continue talking.
Farther away, and so it would run away, but then it would disappear, show up in a different spot.
Oh, really? Alright, while I try and get this figured out, we're going to go on to the next one. Thank you. It is called, everyone's heard of this. They came out with a movie a little while ago, but it's The Bell Witch Cave. I'm doing the thunderclap for you, so you have to come up with at least,
on that. Never heard of it. 9 more. By the way, speaking of 9, Germany beat the United States in soccer.
Yeah, that's completely irrelevant.
Yeah, sports are not allowed.
Phil's not listening. So
I'm going to add something. At any point in the show, if you've ever lived anywhere in the USA and you've been somewhere, add it. Call in, text, whatever. Like, oh, I lived in Ohio, and I believe that Mill Creek State Park is haunted. That's my story.
Kenny, Tammy's dad.
They're not listening.
They should be.
Yeah.
Alright. Bell Witch Cave, Adams, Tennessee. The Bell Witch Cave, located near the Bell Farm where the Bell Farm once stood, is said to be associated with the Bell Witch, a sinister entity that allegedly haunted the Bell family between 1817 and 1821. The story was so famous at the time that even General Andrew Jackson decided to visit and allegedly experience the antics of the witch himself. Local legends say that the Bell Witch was haunted, or has haunted the area surrounding the caves for hundreds of years. The area has a long history of pioneers and Native Americans, many of whom were said to have been buried in the cave. The Trail of Tears, which forcibly relocated the Cherokee Creek... Oh, crap. Too bad Devin's not here. He could tell me how to say these. Seminole, Choctaw Choctaw? I don't know. And other tribes
not Cherokee.
from the... I don't give a... He's Indian.
He's Paiute, dude.
I don't care. He could tell me how to say these.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll check it out.
No, this is worse, dude. You're half German. You're not going to know how to say these.
Yeah, nope.
And other tribes from their homelands to Indian Territory, Oklahoma, went through the farm. Numerous visitors have told of seeing her apparition, as well as odd shadows and hearing voices in restricted areas of the caves. Visitors who take anything from the cave, such as a rock, will be cursed, and many have returned items quickly. Today, the privately owned Bell Witch Cave and former Bell Witch Farm offers tours.
So it's kind of like the volcano in Hawaii. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
I don't know. You look like you have something to say.
No, I'm...
She's in the zone.
You're frustrating.
I don't get how noses work.
This is not relevant.
In a drawing. Sorry, I'm trying to draw something and I don't understand how to do a nose on this part.
I can't remember what the movie's called, but they made a movie about the Bell Witch Cave, or the Bell Witch. And apparently, from what I remember, is there was a dispute between the owner of the farm and some lady saying that she got gypped out of land, so she cursed their family. Huh. Well, what the movie kind of portrays is that it wasn't really a curse, but whatever was happening to this girl was a psychosis brought on because her father was raping her.
Huh.
So I don't know what to believe. What Bell... Like, I need to go to Bell Witch. I've had people tell me that I need to go to Bell Witch. I had someone from Tennessee actually message me on my Facebook telling me that I needed to go to the Bell Witch area. Yeah.
That's pretty key.
Yeah. So that is another area of the United States that is haunted.
United States.
The next one we have up, once again, a lot of people have heard of it, seen it, Eastern State Penitentiary.
Been there, creepy as all like a mother.
What happened?
Some of the jail's actually blocked off because it's been falling apart, because it's been around since like 18-something.
Oh, I thought you were going to actually get the real date right, but I guess not. Let me read it. You'll have your moment. This former prison operated from 1829 to 1971, and its revolutionary system of incarceration was the first to establish the policy of separate confinement, emphasizing principles of reform rather than punishment. So basically they were saying, we're not going to beat these people straight. We're going to, help them.
It was worse than rather than the beatings, dude. Like,
not really. It's basically saying is that they're going to try and reform them, not beat it into them.
Dude, there was a dog arrested.
Awesome.
There was a kid that was like 12 that they put in there.
That's alright. I know about a kid that was executed when he was 12.
And like they were messed up in the society.
Did you not read it?
Yeah, but like I'm calling BS on it.
Well, that's what they said that their mission statement was. Maybe back then,
ironically,
it was different.
On a side note, the last person to exit that jail, black dude.
Why is that ironic?
I don't know. The picture was pretty cool though, because he was all smiley and whatnot, and like the cop was like waving goodbye. I think he went to a different penitentiary. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, continue.
However, the confinement was severe, locking inmates in their cells 23 hours per day and prohibiting any communication among inmates. So basically it was like solitary confinement. Because that's what they do when they put you in solitary confinement. They put you in for 23 hours a day, let you out for an hour so you can shower.
And it wasn't just like, go in here, kaboom. They put you in there, they put you like either in a chair or they would put a mask over you.
It says punishment was harsh, including subjecting them to water baths. I don't know what that is. Is that like a fire hose?
They would like, I think from what I heard, because it was like an audio tour that I went on, they would sit you down, they would chain you to a chair, and they would pour water over you continuously.
This says, where inmates who broke the rules would be dunked in a bath of ice-cold water, then hung from a wall for the night.
Yeah.
They were also punished in what was called the mad chair, so named because it was not uncommon for an inmate to go mad before his punishment ended. During this punishment, inmates would be strapped into the chair so tightly that it was impossible for them to move at all, while sitting for days without food until the circulation of their body almost stopped from the tightness of the straps and the lack of movements. Like, I don't think that that's bad, but what I'm about to read...
Like, what they would
These
do...
next ones are kind of bad.
They would chain your feet together, then they would chain it to the chair, and they would chain your hands to the chair.
So it's basically what they have nowadays if you throw a big little tantrum like a little baby.
Like,
big little tantrum?
Like,
yeah,
you know that chair
big tantrum like a little baby.
That chair that Zach Bacon sat on in that episode?
No, I don't remember.
Well, that was the chair.
But nowadays, when they put you in prison and you throw this huge tantrum, they will actually put they'll restrain you. It's called a restraint chair. For constantly refusing to obey with no communication rules, an iron collar was sometimes clamped. Yeah, this is the one that I thought was bad. Onto the tongue of the inmate, then chained to his wrists, which were strapped behind their back. Called the iron gag, any movement would result in the tearing of the tongue and severe bleeding, from which many died before their torment ended. Notorious criminals such as bank robber Willie Sutton and Al Capone were held within its walls. Today it is currently a U.S. National Historic Monument or landmark, which is open to the public as a museum for regular tours as well as haunted tours.
Yeah, they actually have Al Capone's cell completely closed.
Yeah, I know. You told me that.
Yeah.
I think you guys took pictures of it.
Yeah.
Today, visitors and staff report hearing unexplained eerie sounds throughout the prison, as well as whispering, laughing, and weeping, and seeing tormented faces in the cells.
I actually had.
This is where, I was like, this is where you get to talk about your experiences there. You have 3 minutes.
I was walking through.
Actually, you only have two.
It was right, and listen, it won't take that long. It was right after the Al Capone cell. And, like, it would go that way, this way, that way, that way, that way. Like, they would have one guard in the middle, but mirrors all around.
Yeah.
So he could be facing down this way and just look like that. And he's looking right behind him. But I'm walking through, and
I've seen pictures of that.
It's awesome. But I'm walking through, and all of a sudden there was a door to my right, and it just completely open, and I was like, the hell? Like, not even really expecting anything, because I went in there not expecting. And all of a sudden the door just went, dunk, closed back up, and that's when I turned my camera back on, and then it went.
The door or the camera?
The door. It was like someone was taking the door and like, I was like, I wonder if it's the wind. Because the door didn't have
not the wind!
It's not the wind!
Sorry.
It didn't have a door handle, so I stuck my hand through it. There was no wind. And then when I pulled it back out, and then it just stopped.
And that's when you were like, it's not the wind!
And I'm recording it, and I'm like, it's not the wind. I caught it on camera, and it's not the wind!
You did catch it on camera.
I
have it.
I gotta find the tape, but I did catch it.
Well, we need to put that on.
I did hear voices. I was walking through, and I hear, hey. And I stopped and I turned around, and like my dad still had the headset on, and my mom's reading a picture.
Alright, now we have a comment from Tasia, who's listening.
Tasia!
It says, a penitentiary sounds fun to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to agree. I know that we've been trying to plan a trip out there sometime. I don't know when it's going to happen. Not Alcatraz. I want to go to Eastern
You and I
State.
have been talking about Eastern State.
Is that the one that Derek said that is like 4 hours for $50 a person, 8 hours for $100?
Oh yeah, if we could go for 8 hours for $100 a person.
Where at?
Eastern State.
Oh yeah.
We can
4
investigate the
hours
whole thing
in 8 hours
for $100 a person.
And they got one section that's blocked off because they're repairing it.
Or there's 4 hours for $50 a person.
And part of the like the very top's like collapsing. They actually had on the top they actually have wires that would intercross because when the guards would walk by, the cells were literally like, here's the cell, here's the guard.
Yeah.
The inmate could literally go like that. They would shove the guard right over. And so like after like the 4th or 5th person that died falling, they were like, okay, there you go. It's a creepy place, dude. Like it's huge. It's probably longer than your complex.
Probably.
It's gnarly.
Alright, well, we're going to take a quick break so I can get everything reset. Like I said, we're not yet to the whole where we can have like full hour episodes yet, so I have to start up another one. But just stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Got it.